let's sketch the graph of y equals 2 sine x minus pi over 2 plus 2. Okay, gagawin natin dito, sketch muna natin yung graph ng y equals sine x. So, isa-isahin natin. Y equals sine x muna. And then, graph natin yung y equals 2 sine x. So, sama na to. And then, let's graph y equals 2 sine x, x quantity minus pi over 2. And then, finally, let's add the 2. So, y equals 2 sine x minus pi over 2 plus 2. Okay. So, ang gawin natin, isa-isahin natin itong apat na to para makarating tayo dito sa kailangan i-graph. Now, to sketch this, kailangan natin malaman natin ano yung amplitude at ano yung period. So, let's have the amplitude here. Your amplitude is equivalent to the absolute value of A. Kumpara natin itong graph na to sa y equals A sine B times X minus C plus D. So, kapag kinumpara natin to dito, we know that A is actually equal to 2. So, absolute value of 2. So, the amplitude is 2. And the period, we need to solve 2 pi over the absolute value of B. So, for this case, our B is 1. If you'll notice, it's 1. So, our period is 2 pi over 1 or 2 pi. Okay? And then, hahatiin natin yung 2 pi sa 5 parts. Pinakauna, si 0. Yung pinakadulo, si 2 pi. Kung gusto nating i-sketch yung graph natin sa isang cycle lang, pwede mo naman padamihin. Pero for this case, isang cycle lang muna. So, we have 0 and then 2 pi. And then, yung tatlong natitirang points dito, let's get the midpoint of 0 and 2 pi. So, 0 plus 2 pi is 2 pi divided by 2, it's pi. And then, ano yung nasa pagitan ng 0 and pi? Nasa gitna niya, it's pi over 2. Pi over 2. Nasa pagitan ng pi at saka 2 pi, so we have 3 pi. 3 pi over 2. So, ito, sketch natin to. Gamitin natin to yung points natin. Okay, so let's have, I'll be using white, I think. Yeah, white. Okay, so let's have the y-axis over here, and then the x-axis over here. So, this is your y. So, gawan lang natin ng, this is a 1, 2. So, let's have 3 siguro. Padamihin natin. Kasi may plus nga pala. So, let's have, again. Palakihin ko lang. So, let's have, here and this one. Oops. This one. Okay. And then, this will be your y-axis. And this is your theta axis or x-axis. 1, 2, 3. This is negative 1, negative 2, and then negative 3. Then, let's have your pi over 2 here. It's pi over 2. Yung ginawa nating 5 points kanina. So, 0 pi over 2 pi, 3 pi over 2, 2 pi. So, dito yung pi. And then, 3 pi over 2. 3 pi over 2. And then, we have 2 pi. Okay. Kapag graph to ng sine, 1, 2, 3. Graph to ng sine. I-follow nyo lang yung yung for 0, it's at the intercept. So, intercept, then suddenly we'll go to the maximum. Then you'll go back to intercept again. And then you'll get to the minimum and then intercept. So, ito lang. Ito yung pattern ng sine function. Intercept, maximum, intercept, minimum, intercept. Imimi. Ayan. So, intercept muna. So, we'll start with the intercept. Intercept over here, intercept. And then, sa pi over 2, we will go to the maximum. So, since ang i-graph muna natin ay si y equals sine x. So, ang maximum nito, 1 lang. Remember, itong kinompute natin dito, yung kinompute natin dito, yung amplitude nito is for the last function na i-graph natin. It's for the last function na i-graph natin. Pero kung ito muna yung consider natin, ang amplitude nito, 1 lang. So, lagyan ko ng kulay dito. So, ito yung kulay natin for y equals sine x. So, let's graph it here. So, maximum. And then, you will go to the intercept again. And then, minimum ka, negative 1. And then, you will go to the intercept again. So, the graph of the sine function, y equals sine x, will be like this one. So, dapat smooth yung curve natin. So, I'll try to make this smooth as possible. As smooth as possible. Oops. Yeah, that one. So, if you want to continue for another cycle, you can do so. For this side, you can do so. Okay. Next, let's work on the graph of y equals 2 sine x. Anong ginawa naman nung 2 doon? Okay. Actually, yung ginagawa ng 2 doon, papataasin lang yung maximum mo. So, instead of 1, you will go to 2. Instead at negative 1, you will go at, you go down to negative 2. So, mangyayari, so, yung maximum natin dito, magiging nasa 2 na siya. Yung minimum mo, mapupunta na sa negative 2. And this is negative 2. This is negative 1. So, yung graph mo magiging ganda na siya. Okay. This one will go there. And, yes. Okay. So, this is the graph of y equals, so, look at the label. This is y equals 2 sine x. This is the graph of sine x. This is 2 sine x. Now, let's work on to the next one. Pi over 2. Nagkaroon ng pi over 2 sa tabihan. Ang ginagawa nitong pi over 2 dito, sinishift niya yung graph mo to either left and right, pi over 2 units left and right. Kapag minus to, it's to the right. Kapag plus, it's to the left. Basically, kapag positive tong c mo, you will move to the right. Since minus to, x minus pi over 2, ibig sabihin, yung c mo positive. So, we'll move pi over 2 units to the right. Pero kung ito ay plus, alam mo na galing yan sa x minus pi over 2. So, ibig sabihin, negative yung c mo. So, since hindi naman siya plus, so you will move to the right. So, you will move everything pi over 2 units to the right. So, nandito na tayo kay 2 sine x. So, i-move natin yung points natin. So, itong point na nandito, mamumove siya ng pi over 2 units. So, mamumove siya dito. Itong point na to, mamumove siya sa pi. So, parang nag-move tayo dito, which is pi over 2 units. Tapos, yung point mo dito, na-move ng pi over 2 units also. And then, your point here will be moved here, pi over 2 units. Your negative 2 here will move. Your negative 3 pi over 2, negative 2 will be moved here. So, let's add one here. Let's add another one. What's next after 2 pi? 5 pi over 2, I think. 5 pi over 2. Tama, 5 pi over 2 yung next. Plus pi over 2. So, mamumove na siya dito. So, yung graph natin will now be shifted pi over 2 units to the right. So, punta na siya dito. Okay. Yan. So, ito na yung graph natin. So, dito na tayo. Now, let's go to the last one. 2 sine x minus pi over 2 plus 2. Ngayon, ang ginagawa itong plus 2 na to dito. Actually, yung plus 2 na yon na ginagawa lang niya, sinishift niya yung sinishift niya yung graph mo ng either pi over 2 units up or down. Kung positive to, it's up. Kung negative to, it's down. So, since this is plus 2, itataas natin ng 2 units yung graph natin. So, ito, dati siyang nasa 0. So, taas natin 1, 2 units. So, mapupunta na siya dito. Palakihin ko lang yung final graph natin. Mapupunta na siya dito. And then, itong dati mong nasa 2, mamumove siya sa 4. Kailangan pala dagdagan natin to. Mamumove siya sa 4. Sorry. Oops. Okay. So, nagdag tayo ng isa dito. 4. Okay. Ayan. So, yung dati mong 0, na-move siya sa 2. Yung dati mong 2, mamumove siya sa 4. Oops. Kailangan green, mamumove siya sa 4. And then, yung dati mong 0 ulit, mamumove sa 2. And then, itong 2, itong negative 2. So, mamumove na siya ngayon sa 0 na siya. That's siya negative 2. And then, ito, mamumove siya dito. So, therefore, your final graph for this will look like this one. Oh, sorry. Kailangan smooth. And there you go. Okay, so this is the graph of y equals to sine this is the graph of 2 sine x minus pi over 2 plus 2.